hero of time has said, I wouldn't mind hearing about what you guys think about Nintendo's mobile strategy. He went into a longer rant about the mobile strategy himself, which we'll relate to later. But what I thought, first of all, is what did you feel when Nintendo announced their burgeoning exploits into the mobile market? So before they made their first game, which we'll quickly sequentially go through each game later, but first of all, how did you feel? You know, Satoru Iwata was standing there, wasn't he, and going, blah, blah, and the investors had been screaming at Nintendo, come on, you're throwing money away, get on mobile. And then Nintendo announced their first mobile game, which was Miitomo. How were you feeling then, Nick?
To be honest, I can't really remember. But I don't think I want to say I wasn't that negative about it, because I thought, okay, 5 Nintendo games, because they announced 5, didn't they, straight away?
Yeah.
5 Nintendo games are coming. And I did think it was a bit strange, considering they had the 3DS and the Wii U at the time, but I thought there would be something that needed like this sort of mobile connection or something like that. So I thought it could be interesting. Now, back in 2000 and I want to say 14, 15, 16, probably 15, yeah, when they announced everything.
15 probably, yeah.
Loot boxes, microtransactions and all that stuff were still not really, existed, of course it existed, but it wasn't kind of at the forefront of the discussion like it has been for the last couple of years. So I want to say that didn't really come into my mind that's what could happen. And I do remember being a little bit kind of positive about it and being interested in what they could do rather than what happened.
Well, Iwata came out and said, I'm obviously paraphrasing, but he was highly critical of the marketing methods of some mobile users, and that kind of gave a kind of positive vibe towards, all right, Nintendo aren't going to go down that kind of loot box alley. We'll talk about that later. Greg, how did you feel?
In a way, I can't really remember either, but I imagine I was quite like Glen I on the forum when he said when they announced that they were entering the mobile market, like he was sure that he wasn't the only one who got hit with a sense of dread, and I probably was quite similar to that because, to be honest, I never really played mobile games before. Like I played Snake, obviously, on the old Nokia 3210, but like who didn't?
Yeah, classic.
But that's pretty much as far as my mobile gaming had ever went. And even now, like if you ask me to go back and think about great mobile games I've played over the years, I think there's maybe only that one. So like I'm still
Are
not
you
really
dissing
into
me,
mobile
Tomo?
I maybe played Miitomo for like 10 minutes total.
Well, Sam also said mobile games from Nintendo, this is how he felt before, as something which I never wanted personally. And I can't even remember how I felt either. It was something that I wasn't feeling dread about it. And after Iwata gave his reassurances that he wasn't going to milk us with microtransactions, it obviously calmed my fears. So we're going to go on to basically listing the games when they came out and quickly ask you then, how did you play this game? How did you feel about this game? So the first game came out was Miitomo, came out in March 2016, lasted, because it got cancelled obviously, until May 2018. And you could purchase in-game currency with real money. And then you could use that currency while you were playing. And it did well in its first couple of months, 10 million downloads within the initial month. I remember playing this myself. I played it quite a bit, actually. I found some value in it. And it was a game which I praised for finding it very difficult to spend money on. They hid the money-making transaction, in sub-menus. And you never needed to spend any money in my mind. Not the way I played it, anyway. Did any of you boys play Miitomo?
Like I say, I probably only played it a little bit. I think the value in it is probably from maybe how many people you were connected to in it. And I think I only had about 1 or 2 people that I had actually linked up to, so
I was on the forums linking everybody I could. How about you, Nick?
I enjoyed it, Mitomo. I mean, it was at the time when me and my ex-girlfriend were playing, or had just finished playing Tomodachi Life. So it kind of carried on from that a little bit. Like, we'd played it, we'd had fun, we'd kind of stopped, and then when this came out, I was showing her like, oh, it's kind of similar. So between us, we had like a little bit of fun with Mitomo. And like answering the questions and stuff like that was quite funny. And obviously with the guys from the forums as well. I had a few people on there. I liked like the stupid stuff that you could, buy like different clothes and stuff like that, and the little pachinko game.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that he added that later, didn't he? The pachinko game. Yeah, you threw your me up and bounced down. Yeah.
For me, it was fine. Like when I was going when I was going to work on the metro, just 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day. In that sense, it worked really well for me, and I fit it in to my schedule. And I was actually kind of disappointed when they decided to close it. Not because I was still playing, but just because it was like, oh, well, I guess that failed then.
Yeah.
So
didn't make them money.
But I do agree completely about money being hidden, like spending money, real money being hidden. That it felt like a quality, like, I don't want to say quality because it wasn't really a game and it wasn't really quality, but the polish of what was there. And seeing those Miis on a 1080p screen, a tiny 1080p screen, it looks good. It looks really, really good, actually. I remember like being a little bit like, wow, when I first switched it on for the first time and saw all those lovely sharp images of our Miis and the rooms and stuff like that.
It's a shame because they, if they continued it on and added all, some extra bells and whistles and all that, but no money because we couldn't spend our money, Nintendo. Then we went on to Super Mario Run, which was released on iOS in December 2016, but Android came a few months later, maybe even February, March the next year, 2017. This came out at £9.99 for a single purchase title, which shocked the internet. Mobile users were enraged everywhere. How dare you charge £10 for a game? But it did offer a free limited demo for the first world. You could play the first world, and you could play, I can't remember the extra mode. I can't remember if that was free as well. And it was downloaded 200 million times, but it didn't reach Nintendo's 10% target conversion rate. So that 200 million times didn't turn into enough £10 purchases. Did you boys pick this one up?
I played the demo and didn't really like it. But I did at the time, I admired Nintendo's approach. Like, you pay one price and you get the game. That was a good approach. I know a few people picked it up at half price eventually when it went on sale. And I probably would have, but I'd already kind of given up on Nintendo's mobile stuff by that time. So I didn't like it, to be honest. I didn't feel it. I mean, it was a little bit addictive, like trying to get a perfect run, but it still didn't really feel like Mario to me. So I played it for a while and then just deleted it. I played the demo for a while and then just deleted it.
Greg, you did pick it up for half price in the sale, didn't you?
Yes, I was going to say I was one of those people that did get it at half price, and I did like it. I didn't love it, but I did like it, and I have beat it in the sense that I think there's like 3 different levels of coins you can get. There's like the green ones, I think, which is the easiest one, and then there's maybe like black ones and pink ones or something.
Black and
like
pink,
that. Yeah. So I've definitely done like the first selection of those. So there's always a chance that if I ever fancy playing it again, that the urge has never came yet. But if I do, like, there is something to go back to. So like in terms of like the mobile offering side, like it's easily like my favorite one.
Same here. Same here. And Dennis also says, my most enjoyed mobile game is Super Mario Run. It's a shame that is one of the less performing titles, of course. People were disgusted by that $9.99 price tag. And that was $9.99 in US dollars as well. Do you remember the name of that other mode? It was like you just followed a level and then you can, I can't remember what that was called.
Toad Rally.
Toad Rally, that's the one. Well done, Greg. Toad Rally. I think all the coins, the first and second group of coins. I didn't finish all the black coins or whatever the hardest coins were. But Toad Rally, I put a lot of time into. It's a kind of game, it feels like Dr. Mario in its structure, it's along a linear path and you play one level, then you play 10 levels in a row and then you progress onto the next world. And it just goes on forever and ever and ever. And it's just a kind of game you can do, and you play these incredibly short, like 20-second levels and it's over. So that was good for a couple of minutes, you got a couple of minutes, jump on that and done. And you get some loot boxes, but the kind of in-game loot boxes giving you mushrooms and all that to use.
Yeah. In terms of the pricing structure of it, like it obviously didn't perform well, but it's maybe just from being like a traditional gaming background and not being a mobile gamer, but I liked that you could just buy the game and that's it, you have it there. Things like microtransaction stuff, even now I'm still not like, I don't like it.
Well, it all changed when the next game came out in February 2017, Fire Emblem Heroes, which I don't know if this was a response to the kind of backlash to Super Mario Run, or they were expecting, they were going to do this anyway, but it seems the perfect game to do it because of all the characters you can get. This is a traditional free-to-play model. Gacha loot boxes, got to catch them all, and there's a new thing which has been announced in the last couple of days, the Fair Pass, which is Fire Emblem Heroes Pass, for £9.99 a month from February the 5th. You can have access to heroes with new visuals and voices, boosts of +2 to each stats, 2 resplendent heroes per month, Lynn and Cordelia fan service favourites first to get you signed up. And there are extra bits and pieces for your £9.99 a month. I'm going to say that once again. £9.99. That's the same price as Mario Run.
It's insane. Like, I'm completely ignorant to the game. Like, I actually don't really know how it plays. I've only, I did download it and only maybe checked it out for literally a minute, and I've never had it back on again. But that just seems obscene.
It does, and the way it plays is it is like a small Fire Emblem map, basically. So the actual game itself, not the gacha mechanics of catching other heroes, but your whole mobile phone screen is split into maybe 20-25 squares, which are obviously elongated the screen, and then you choose to move your hero or attack, and it doesn't play a bad game.
I agree.
It's just everything around it, you get these events and then you collect orbs by doing well in the game. So you get the orbs and then you spend your orbs on unlocking heroes, but there are never enough orbs. And that is obviously deliberate. So then you can buy those orbs and buy the extras you need to get the heroes. And I ran out of patience very quickly with this. As soon as you realize that, I spent all my orbs. Now I've got to play it for 20 hours to get more orbs for the next event, but the events just keep on coming. There's no way you can keep up with it unless you keep spending money. Nick?
I'm quite similar to you. I did download it quite soon after it came out, and I thought it played quite a good game of Fire Emblem. I actually enjoyed, I think I did the first 2 chapters from the story, but for me, it was just complete sensory overload. Too many things getting thrown at you, too many different, as you said, orbs and other things, and I was just
feathers and everything to purchase different things. Yeah,
I just checked out as quickly as possible when I couldn't take it anymore. I will say though, this definitely has some of the best production values. of any of the mobile games. Like, it's really well done in the sense of how it looks, the art and stuff like that. I think they've done a really good job with it.
All the voice characters and everything. Yeah.
I'm not surprised that it's the most successful one, because I think it's got enough for the real Fire Emblem fans, you know.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, they've probably got a really, really, really small percentage of people who are just throwing money at this game.
Yeah.
And that's why, and I think that $9.99 is for them. Like, they might not get many subscriptions, but those guys who are still throwing money at it will just pay it and forget about it.
So Nintendo are caught, suckers. Keep your money coming. Animal Crossing did something very similar, which came out in October 2017. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, that is. Free to play. You pay with real money to purchase items that reduce your cooldown timers, basically. So you build you can build your crafting equipment and all that, and your household items for free. But then if you want to speed up that process, because it might take 3 days to make one, you can then pay real money to advance the timer to make your pink leather couch appear a day early. But they then cheekily introduced a subscription for this is dollars. I didn't look up the British pounds, but $7.99 a month, where you get a helper who plays portions of the game for you, so you don't have to play it anymore. And loot boxes, increased loot boxes, and increased item storage, just in case you've got too much stuff, which you probably would have if you're buying a subscription. I did play this very briefly, and just like Fire Emblem, I dropped it quite quickly in that it didn't go in depth because I was playing the 3DS version, and I had just finished playing the 3DS version and loved it, and it didn't do enough of what the 3DS version was doing. Any of you boys play Animal Pocket Camp?
I also started it and then dropped it fairly quickly. I didn't really like it the first time I played it, despite, again, the fact that it looks quite nice.
Yeah.
You know, it really did look like Animal Crossing, felt like Animal Crossing, how it looked, the vibe. And then I think it was about 3 or 4 months later, I picked it up again. And I ended up playing it for about a month, and I actually enjoyed it. I wasn't like putting in a hell of a lot of time. I remember actually I got an iPad. I bought an iPad, and I installed this on the iPad and just, pick it up once or twice a day for 5 or 10 minutes and just did the daily tasks, basically. And just Animal Crossing-y things that you can do, you know.
Yeah.
I did that for about a month, and then it, again, just dropped it. And while I was doing that, like, I know there are timers and stuff like that, but it never really felt like a typical mobile game. It didn't really feel like it was asking for money and things like that, which
I agree.
Again, is kind of nice, you know, that it's not so exploitative, but it didn't have enough to keep me interested. I think it was too simplistic, really.
How about you, Greg?
Well, I did say earlier I'm not really an Animal Crossing fan. I have downloaded it, and I think I had like the platinum coins on the My Nintendo thing. I think I had some expiring at one point, and I had nothing really to spend them on. So I think you could buy some Pocket Camp, like, is it tickets or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember buying them, but I've never used them. I have no idea what they're for. They're probably expired now. I have no idea. But I can't even think about what the game's like, because I really don't remember playing it. But I do have it downloaded.
Cool. Next game. We'll move on a bit faster because I've only played this one very shortly. Dragalia Lost, April 2018. This came out in Japan and Taiwan first of all, and then September. It took another 6 months later until it came out in the USA. Action RPG developed by Cygames but published by Nintendo. But it's got a hell of a lot, like Fire Emblem Heroes, gacha elements, trying to get new heroes to throw into the game and stronger heroes to. Now, I did play this one, and I played it on my phone, on my iPod. So my iPod Touch was a tiny, tiny screen, so I was playing on that before my iPod blew up and I got an iPad. It's weirdly strange where you drag the character with your finger to move him and then tap on the screen to fight. so it feels like an MMO, but with your finger. And it never got me. I mean, I really wanted to go back to it and go, right, I'll give it a fair chance and all that. But you are bombarded as well. And even more so than Fire Emblem, I think, is just you need this currency for this, you need this currency for this, and there's this menu, and there's this and this. It's like, oh my, no. It gives me...
Never mind, like, going on to the shop to download it or anything.
Think of cutesy, chibi dragons, and you're in the right ballpark. And then on January 2019, Dr. Mario World came out. Cooperation with Line, which is a kind of Japanese Twitter service that they have over here in Taiwan as well. Very big Line is. Lets you earn in-game currency, but you can use real money to buy diamonds. Then that you purchased basically game-winning mechanics, like power-ups and new doctors. It lets you get new doctors quicker. Did anybody try Dr. Mario World?
Nope, and no interest in trying it.
No, I did. It's a bit finicky dragging the things down. It doesn't feel like a Dr. Mario game. It feels more like a match 3 puzzler than a Dr. Mario 3 than a Mario Dr. Mario World game. And no, I didn't get on with it. It was just too finicky. Mario Kart World Tour, the last game that Nintendo have brought out on mobile, September 2019, downloaded more than 10 million times on its first day. And as we famously know, it raised 9.9 million times. It beat the Pokemon Go's first day, which had 6.7 million downloads. And now they've implemented the Gold Pass system, £4.99 a month. You get gold gifts, skins, vehicles, bonus boxes, special in-game badges. It unlocks 200cc and multiplayer beta online test, which is now open to everybody. Mario Kart World Tour, boys, we all know your thoughts on this. Awful.
Yeah, such a disappointment.
Absolute trash.
One thing I do was, like, again, $4.99 a month, like, when you look at the pricing structure they have for their monthly subscriptions for several of these games, like the Nintendo Switch Online is an absolute bargain.
Yeah, and how much are they charging for Apple Arcade? About £10 a month.
Less, I think. It's
less. See?
Yeah.
See, I mean, scandalous.
This game is absolutely, it is so unbelievably horrible. Like, I don't understand how they think this is acceptable. It is a horrendous game. And the fact that it's in vertical mode is obscene. The fact that it's easier to push around a Morrison's shopping trolley than it is to actually steer your car. When Nintendo games are always, look at Mario Odyssey, how well that game controls. Even Mario Kart 8, yeah? Control is the most important thing in these games. And this is just disgustingly bad. Like, you have no control whatsoever over your car, basically. It's a joke of a game, a complete joke.
Dennis agrees. Dennis on the forums has said that somehow Nintendo have decided to go all out with this one. Gacha mechanics, timed exclusives, an expensive subscription service and the works, all thrown in the mix over a less than mediocre version of the game. And I'd go so far to say it's a terrible version of the game. It's the worst Mario Kart by far in my eyes.
Except 64.
Oh, I can't let that slide.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
See, Iwata's vision, what we talked about at the start of this question, Iwata's vision was to have people play the mobile game, and then that game then draws them into buying a Nintendo system and buying the real version of that game. Mm-hmm. Do you think any of these games, mobile games, have been successful in that vision?
Maybe Fire Emblem.
Yes, maybe. And maybe Animal Crossing might have some bleed over into the Switch version, maybe.
But that idea of getting customers from mobile games has gone so far out of the window now. Like, they're not even thinking about that anymore. It is purely a money-making exercise. It's not to get new customers for a Switch.
Yeah, the only way, like, they'd be getting customers for Mario Kart 8, for example, from Mario Kart World Tour is people see just how bad World Tour is. It's like, oh, I need to go and buy a proper Mario Kart.
I think it has the opposite. If I was a family member, we've all got iPads or whatever, and then I play Mario Kart Tour, and I'm thinking, I'm not going to pick a Nintendo up.
Yeah.
I think it pushed me away, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think they might have shot themselves in the foot with some sales.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
this is the Mario Kart everybody raves about.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm playing. There's another kart racer on iPad, which is all the rage at the moment in Taiwan, and I'd be playing that instead. Global spending. Then about 2 weeks ago, they released this little infographic which I put up on our site here to look at, boys, and we got $4.8 million Dr. Mario World, all the way up to Fire Emblem Heroes making $656 million. So that was their financials that they broke down. And HOT is basically, and we've touched upon it, has said that the game has made millions, but at what cost? So it is what we were talking about. Have Nintendo shot themselves in the foot?
Yes.
Are they the company, from an outsider's perspective, are they the same family-orientated company that they were when Iwata was around?
I don't know. It's a hard question to answer, to be honest, because it's only been, since the new guy took over, it's only been a couple of years, hasn't it? And then only 4 or 5 since Iwata died. 4 years since Iwata died.
Probably about 4, yeah.
And I think it's really hard. I think 10 years' time we'll be able to tell if anything really did change. Because, this could be just them following the trend. Like, there is money to be made and they're making it. So the fact that they've got 1 console instead of 2 now means they need to make money in other areas. And whether this really would have a negative impact on Switch games, I'm not sure. I don't know the mobile market at all. I don't know who's playing these games. And I don't know if some kids would download them and then the parents would see and they would maybe spend too much money or ask for money and then the parents would be like, oh, what's this Nintendo? Okay, that's bad. We don't want to, I don't really know if it would go that far. But I definitely think somebody who played Mario Kart Tour would certainly say, what is the fuss about this all about? Because I don't get it. It's just, it's awful. It's so awful.
Greg, your overall thoughts about Nintendo's feelings as they are now? Not thinking about their future games, but what they've been up to as to date.
It's, in some ways, it's worrying. Obviously, they said at the start, as we've touched on, that they're just trying to, we'll give you these mobile offerings just to try and entice you towards our bigger games. But it doesn't matter who you are. If you're making money on something, you're like, why don't we just keep doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would we go and make another F-Zero or whatever, which might not sell, when we can put out something else on mobile with all these mechanics that has
F-Zero with loot boxes.
So I'm not overly concerned at this moment, but you don't really know what way the trends are going to go in the next few years. You see yourself, the Wii U did terribly, then the Switch is doing good. Whatever Nintendo do next, there's no guarantee that that's going to take off. So maybe it won't work, and then to start focusing on other things. I don't know.
Well, Glen sees the gacha system as gambling, and which it is. You put your money down, you don't know what you're going to win, and you get a loot box or whatever, and you don't know you haven't got a clue what you win. So it is a gambling system, and he's correct in saying that. And some countries, like Belgium, they have now banned this kind of gacha system.
I absolutely hate it. I'd rather just be able to, even if it's slightly more expensive, at least if you know what you're getting, you can just buy what it is you need or want or whatever. I hate the thought of putting money into something and having no idea what you're going to get. Even going back to something I remember Super Smash Bros. Melee, and they had was it the wee statues or something?
Oh yeah.
Out of out of the wee machine, and like the more coins you put in, like the higher your chance of getting out
A new one.
Rare,
Yeah.
a new one, yeah.
But like I just hate it that even back then, just the not knowing what you're gonna get. And
And it's the same in Xenoblade with the blades. We mentioned that before. I hate that random number generator. Yeah.
I think it's fine when there's no money involved. And yes, it can be frustrating in Xenoblade, but I actually enjoyed it in Smash Melee. I thought it was quite cool.
see, I don't even like it even when there's no money involved.
You never know if you're going to finish the game 100%.
Yeah.
I like set markers, like, oh, if you meet this condition, then you unlock this here. I just hate just randomizing stuff.
Yeah. I think that Mario Kart Tour's really soured me on Nintendo's mobile stuff and obviously the news about the subscriptions and stuff like that for Fire Emblem, that's also not good. But I think up until probably the middle of last year, I probably would have said they've not done a bad job. Actually, like, yes, there are things that are not great, but, Fire Emblem's doing well, Animal Crossing's doing okay, Super Mario still made $80 million, Super Mario Run.
Yeah.
They're not doing badly, like, the games look nice, and at that time, I probably would have said, yeah, maybe they'll get some crossover from mobile onto the Switch. But after experiencing Mario Kart Tour and just seeing it for what it is, they have no interest whatsoever they are literally just using the brand name Mario Kart to make money off people, because there is no value in that as a game at all.
And it was even during Dragalia Lost that the developer Cygames cited Nintendo for holding them back from money-making methods. It's like Nintendo was stopping us making as much money as we can.
We could make more.
We could make more, yeah. So that, they have to be commended in at least a nicer approach than other companies.
But the one more thing I'll say about this is that they have to be very, very careful with this, because if they go deeper and deeper into mobile games, mobile games, the trends are not the same as they are in consoles. And you could be massive today and dead tomorrow. So, if they want to put more and more time and effort and money into this, good luck, because I'm not going to be there. And I know lots of guys like us won't be there as well.
True. I'm waiting for their big game, the big mobile game that I can get into, and it hasn't hit yet.
And it won't, I don't think.
What do you think? What would it be? What would you be interested in?
I don't know. I was looking forward to Mario Kart World Tour. It's just they messed the game up. They messed the mechanics up. They messed. I would have been happy. And this obviously an old man. I'd have been happy dropping £10 on it to unlock. Just like the Super Mario Run version. Right? You can play the first Star Cup or whatever, Leaf Cup, and then you can unlock 3 or 4, 5, 6 more different courses or tracks, tours, and just pay your £10. But once you've played one track, you just, that's it. You're not interested anymore.
Mm-hmm. For me, I tend not to really have given too much thought, but something like Donkey Kong Country, just an on rails, like a minecart game or something where you just have to tap to jump through. That's something like collect the bananas, jump, like it's simple. You could sell it for like cheap. You don't have to there's been no need for microtransactions or anything.
But there are games like Temple Run and Subway Surfers which do have additional microtransactions. They start free and then you can get certain items to help you on your way.
But I've played both of them, and you can still have a good time with them without spending any money.
Yeah. My son plays Subway Surfers and he hasn't spent anything, and he still plays it to this day.
I liked it when I had that, and Temple Run as well. Temple Run was great, actually, the original one. I really enjoyed that game. And I mean, you can put microtransactions in them as long as they're not too offensive and people will pay. Yeah, like they do for Fire Emblem. It doesn't have to be like Mario Kart. It really doesn't.
So I quickly, briefly mention that as maybe Europe is going to start implementing a ban on this gacha system, are these Nintendo subscriptions to their individual mobile games an answer to this to the gacha mechanics? And Mandalos brought that up on the forum. He said that is the subscription service in anticipation of other countries like Belgium banning loot boxes, or would have it happened anyway? So how do you see Nintendo changing their approach for future mobile titles?
I think we have to wait and see how Mario Kart Tour performs compared to Fire Emblem. If it makes as much money, and if it makes money quickly or not so quickly, will they change their approach? And I think you wrote up there that the Animal Crossing subscription has been available since 2018.
Yes.
And that game's still lagging way behind Fire Emblem.
It is, yeah.
So I guess it's not doing what they want, probably. And obviously having gacha mechanics is better and makes more money, like in Fire Emblem.
Why I'm just wondering why maybe the money that they get, the revenue that they're getting into Fire Emblem now has dropped off, and the subscription is a last
They're trying to
hurrah,
kick it.
basically.
Maybe that's true. But I do think it'll be interesting. I do think it'll be interesting to see Mario Kart with all of these things. Yeah, with all of the mechanics, the microtransactions, the gacha, and the subscription, how it does.
And it's done 86 million so far. So it's catching Dragalia Lost, which has been out longer, which is on 123 million. But it's far off what Fire Emblem started out as. Greg, do you have any thoughts on that? Where are Nintendo going to go with future mobile titles? There we go. That Donkey Kong run would be perfect.
Yeah. In terms of the finances of it,
yeah,
we've obviously seen they've got this subscription for Mario Kart, subscription for Fire Emblem and Animal Crossing. That's quite a sizable chunk. But we sort of started the podcast talking about Nintendo Switch Online and how they maybe want to add greater value, more of an incentive to come back. I suppose one way that they could possibly do it is mobile and Switch is sort of separate at the minute, but just say you subscribe to your Nintendo Switch Online account, then you get all these mobile passes included.
Yeah. That could be. And that would work both ways. Yeah. People have already got it, might play them more, and people who don't have it, it'll push them to get a Nintendo subscription service.
Yeah. That could work, actually. I could see that.
Good one, Greg. Get in touch with Nintendo's financing office.
I do find that irritating with Nintendo. Even with the My Nintendo thing, just they have I think we even mentioned it last week. The platinum coins working. They work in one game, but you can't transfer them over to.
There you go.
Available from the Nintendo store for $19.99.
Or free to subscribers.
You know what? If NES games were available on my mobile, I actually think there'd be more chance of me playing them, because I'm not into mobile gaming really, but if they're just there on my mobile, if I've got 5 or 10 minutes to kill, I'd break one out. Whereas if I'm at home, I'm not gonna play tennis on NES over Rocket League or something, you know.
I do wonder though, with the fact that the Switch is supposed to be portable, whether that would defeat the purpose of having a portable Switch. If yes, having SNES and NES games on mobile could be quite cool, but you're supposed to take your Switch with you when you go out, and you should play it.
I'm thinking of people without a Switch as well, you know.
Okay. Just sell a subscription for $5 or £10 or something.
Or even
monthly.
cheaper, yeah. But knowing of what they've charged for the subscription of just a single game, you're looking at about 30 quid subscription a month there. Yes, but they could have a slight little subscription, or they could purchase games individually. I can't see them going back to that now. There's a virtual console service for your mobile. That's the kind of thing I thought they would be doing when it was announced. First of all, I thought we'd see some SNES, NES, not N64, not that far, but some old classic games, and I thought I'd be playing them on my mobile. Not yet. And one last thing to bring up is, do you see Nintendo slipping some of these gacha mechanics, subscription services, passes into their console gaming? Sam on the forum, there's a couple of thoughts. Sam said, at least we still have the Nintendo Switch, which offers plenty of high-quality titles from Nintendo, third parties and indies alike, which only ask you for the price of the game only and nothing more. I really, sincerely, desperately hope that we're not just at the top of a slippery slope. Well, there's the top of the slippery slope is Super Kirby Clash. That has some gacha. It doesn't have gacha mechanics. It has buy some gem apples to help you win the game.
Isn't this one of the free-to-play games that you can buy, like, full price, like 25 quid, you can buy lots of diamonds, and that's it, you never pay again?
Yes, there's a maximum price you can pay. It's about £36 though.
See, for that's acceptable in my opinion.
Yes, there's a cap.
There's a limit.
There needs to be a limit, yes. Yeah.
I was listening to a really interesting discussion today on Sacred Symbols, which was why in the PS3, Xbox and Wii era did we get so many sequels to games, but now we don't. And they discussed that probably it's because it's more expensive, which it is. Yeah, the engines are expensive. But DLC is the new sequel, yeah?
Yeah.
You wait a few months, you pay a little bit less than a full price of a game, or a lot less in some cases, 20 quid, 30 quid, and you've got that 5, 10, 20, 30 hours more content. Please enjoy. I was really against this at the beginning, and I think Nintendo with Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U did it right, and they've done it right on the Switch. And I would be happy for this to continue. If something adds extra content and I'm interested in it, I'll buy it. Yeah. And if the price is 20 quid, perfect. Yeah. That's great. The only one that hasn't really interested me is Luigi's Mansion, but that's because I don't want to play multiplayer. But that's another story. I'm gonna go into this in more detail probably later, but I think Smash Brothers Ultimate should be a games as a service.
Oh, okay.
Now, I hate games as a service, but I think Smash Brothers Ultimate would fit that perfectly. Maybe we can talk about it another time. This is mobile games.
Yeah.
To finish this topic for me, if these mobile mechanics come into Nintendo games,
new Smash with gacha mechanics.
as in you are paying money for a chance to do something. If you get Mario, 3D Zelda, and other first-party Nintendo games with these mechanics, then I will just retire into my backlog and forget about them. And they'll never get another penny from me. That's it. I don't have anything else to say. It'll be goodbye.
Do you ever see a day when Nintendo implement gacha mechanics into their mainstream games?
I can
certainly... Bloody investors asking for it, don't they?
I can certainly see a day when it comes, and it might not be as far away as we would maybe like it to be. You can just imagine like the next Mario Kart coming out and there being some sort of trash in it that I don't think it would like overtake the option of like playing the game normally. I think they would certainly introduce it in a way where it's like you don't need this stuff really to enjoy the game. You can still complete it fully, but you can pay this money if
for
you want to, like,
a different color outfit for Peach.
Yeah, it's like you'd maybe have like, you know, the way in Mario Kart you'd like unlock the next cup or whatever by beating them. They'd be like, oh, you could just pay some money to unlock that if you're not good enough, you know, or if you're too impatient. Like, so it wouldn't be like overly intrusive for like most people, but it would still be an option there. So, but I do see a day where like there's going to be some games where, and it may even be like a Splatoon 3 or something, where there's going to be something that is just so off-putting that I'm like, I really don't like where this industry's going. And like Nick, I'll probably just be like, I'm just happy to play what I've got now. I don't even need anything new really. Like,
the game that could I'm not saying should, they could, but it probably won't because we don't know anything about it yet, is Animal Crossing. There is a huge potential for Nintendo to monetize certain things in that game, and I'm sure they won't. But not this one, but maybe another Animal Crossing in the future could have the potential to timers, like in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, could just be timers to make your things happen faster, or for certain special items.
I think for a full price game, they wouldn't do it.
I'm skeptical they would as well. I don't think they would.
But I think if they decided to just throw it out free to
like
play,
free to play, like that Kirby game, they need some way to make some money. Yes.
Yeah.
See, like those timers and things, they just like fill me, like they just give me the shivers. Like I hate the whole concept behind them. Animal Crossing, you could quite easily just sell the game and then there's like, oh, there's a nice table and chairs I fancy. Pay like 49p or something to unlock those. Doesn't sound like that much on its own, and you could just buy whatever you want. But like all those 49p's are going to add up. So
yeah, and Animal Crossing's about collecting things and hoarding. Yep. So
that's the mechanic that they get people at, you know.
You could wait till say Halloween night to be able to be in with a chance of unlocking such and such, but or you can just pay us 79p now and you can have it now for it.
All of this talk, it just fills me with complete dread. Like this is the last thing I want to see, and I have an extensive backlog, which I probably won't finish before I die anyway, so I'll go into that.
I love Splatoon 2, and I'm thinking of that Splatoon 3, which is like a free-to-play kind of service and all that. I'll get a lot of mileage out of it, but I won't give them a single penny if they're going to be playing those kind of games.
But that's interesting, because I think if it was done like Fortnite, it might work.
Yes, but even with Fortnite playing Realm Royale, I haven't put a single penny down on that, but I'm getting everything they're throwing at me because of the way the battle pass is structured. So there's a choice of whether you want to grind and spend the time on it. If you like the game, then that's fair enough. Or, like Greg said, hey, pay us a little bit of money now and save yourself a bit of time. We'll play the game for you.
Yeah, grinding for stuff is something I really don't want to see. As well. And that's why I gave up playing Fortnite, because it is just the eternal grind, really, isn't it? Like, yes, it's a level playing field in the fact that it's only cosmetic stuff, but I don't know. I hope it doesn't go. I hope it doesn't go that way. I really hope it doesn't go that way. But we'll see.
Well, we will see, and I can't see it happening anytime soon. Greg thinks it's going to happen sooner rather than later. I think there'll be more free-to-play games which will implement it, but I'm with you on that, Nick, that I don't think we'll see it in a full-price package. If it's full-price package, there might be DLC, as they say, but I don't think they'll be doing some gacha mechanics in a full-price game. Anything to add? No, then that's all we have time for this week. We hope you've enjoyed, and you can contact me.
Pay me 49p and you can have the rest of my thoughts.
I was just about to add, we will not have any gacha mechanics on the N-E Café, and Greg's opened them up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.